Balance is hard. I feel like as an artist and as a creative, I am always trying to keep my internal spark and flow while also being disciplined in order to finish my projects. Making art is supposed to feel good, but when you're in the thick of it, the actual execution can feel overwhelming and monotonous. Hello, I am Nora Kate. I am a college student studying songwriting who is interested in basically every aspect of the performing arts as well as writing. My channel is all about the struggle of being a young creator, how to feel like your unique voice is actually being heard, and the lifestyle that helps me perform best in my craft. Today, we are talking about the question that every single artist and every single creator wants the answer to. How do you make amazing art, and how do you succeed without selling your soul and without becoming this shell of who you used to be? Because creating art and creating good art can take a lot out of us sometimes, right? Okay, so my main point that I want to talk about first, and one thing that I've really been trying to do myself, is to not set strict deadlines unless I absolutely have to. So strict deadlines have never been my friend. When it comes to high school and college and academic assignments, if I would have these large projects or these long essays and they would have one very strict deadline that's like way out in the future, I would wait until the night before, get the whole assignment done, and typically it would not be my best work because I have just never worked well with deadlines like that. And I am like such a procrastinator because those deadlines, they seem so like intimidating and they scare me, so I never want to start on the work in the first place. I think a lot of times when we are creating content and we're setting the schedule for ourselves and we're our own boss, we want to do it well and we want to make sure that we can succeed and we're being as disciplined as possible. And I think a lot of times we set concrete deadlines that do not need to be set. I've done this a lot myself, especially when it comes to YouTube and social media and everything like that. Also with music, I'm a songwriting major. And I will set deadlines like I have to like learn all these songs by this time. And there's no reason that I have to do that. I just feel like I should have gotten that much done. Same with YouTube. Like if I'm talking about my YouTube schedule, I would tell myself like I had to get my video planning done on Tuesday and my filming done on Wednesday and my editing done by Thursday, when there was no reason that I couldn't just spread it across the week. I just felt like I needed to get things done fast just because I wanted to feel accomplished. And that's good. I mean, especially when you have so much personal stake in something, you want to feel like you are doing a good job and you want to feel like you're doing it for a reason. And I think a lot of times deadlines can help comfort us in this because we're like, okay, if I get this done by this, then this means this, and it's all very black and white. But these unnecessary deadlines add stress that we don't need, that typically doesn't aid artistic pursuits. If you're heavily concerned about getting a chapter done for your book, let's say, you most likely, when you're writing, are not going to be as focused on your characters and your themes and everything you need to be thinking about, because you're thinking about, I just need to get this done. I just need to get this done. I just need to get this chapter done today. And this takes away from this good work that you could be doing, this artistic flow, because you're so concerned about when it needs to be done. And like I was saying with the academic assignments, a lot of times it can make you want to do it less because it's so intimidating. Telling yourself that you need to have, let's say that you need to have like 5 videos done in a week. That is a big goal that is very unrealistic. So when you go towards it, it's going to scare you and you're not going to want to start it in the first place. Whereas if you just told yourself, I want to get some filming and editing and planning done, but I really want to be intentional with it, and it doesn't matter how much I get done if I just do it, you are much more likely to want to approach this because it's not as scary. Instead of deadlines, for me, it's helpful to block out periods of time to work on a project. This way I'm able to think freely and create what I want, and I'm still able to track how many things I get done and like when I'm doing things, if that makes sense. Okay. Another thing we need to talk about when we are talking about this whole concept of creating art without losing your soul is that you need to not forget to consume the art that you're making. Whatever your artistic craft is, don't forget to consume it. So, I mean, like if you're a musician, listen to new music, go to live music events. If you're a writer, read books. You most likely fell in love with what you're doing with consumption. A lot of times, if you're a writer, you fell in love with writing because you read books. Or if you're a singer, you fell in love with, or a songwriter, you fell in love with music because you listened to music or because you went to concerts or anything like that. So not only does this help you improve in your own creative process by showing you different ways of doing things if you're consuming other people's work, but it can also ignite your passion and motivation. I think a lot of times, especially with music, if I'm just feeling really down about it and I don't want to create, I go back to either the albums that I love so much or I listen to new music, and it just really reminds me of why I'm doing this and what I love so much about it. Live music can also make me feel this way, and if there's any kind of like live version of whatever you do, I would definitely recommend trying to do that, because when I go to a live music venue, the energy from the band or the artist that I'm seeing just really reminds me why I decided to play music in the first place. Okay. I think it is also very important to have practice time or creation time without a specific purpose and a product that needs to be done at the end of this. Along the same lines as making sure that you consume what you create, you most likely fell in love with what you're doing without any guidelines. If you're a songwriter, you most likely fell in love with songwriting when you were young and you were just doing it for fun and it didn't matter what you made and that's what you loved about it. You got lost in what you were doing and time felt like it didn't exist. For me, when it comes to writing music especially, it is so important to have time to just write because I love to write and not because I need a song to finish out an album or an EP. Some of my best songs have actually been written this way. The same can actually be said for content creation, okay? I think we don't think about this way a lot, but when I think about why I'm doing YouTube right now, I love making videos, I love speaking on topics, and I just love being creative about things in general. So if I'm feeling like I don't want to plan a YouTube video or something like that, I will go on Pinterest for 30 minutes and just brainstorm for fun and not for not making it feel like a job. I'm just looking at videos and I'm like, oh, that would be fun to create. I'm looking at pins on Pinterest and I'm like, maybe I can make that into a video, and it's just all fun and light, and it's why I started it in the beginning. Yeah, so for social media, sometimes it's good just to create and brainstorm for fun and not to think about how the video performs in the algorithm or if the idea is good or not or people will like it. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is to keep your craft innovative and exciting. It is always good to try new things. When it came to playing guitar, the times when I would get really bored and uninterested and like not wanting to practice is when I had myself stuck in these boxes of playing the same chord shapes over and over in the same strumming patterns, and I didn't want to try anything else. And I was getting bored because I wasn't challenging myself and was just always playing the same chords and strumming patterns, and it wasn't fun and it wasn't what I liked about it in the beginning. Novelty is always fun. And I think a lot of times the reason why we stop doing things and why we quit things is because there's no novelty. There's no newness. It becomes monotonous and we get bored with it. So just throwing in like a new technique or a new project or concept can make so much of a difference because you have something new for your brain to think about and it's exciting. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is to strike while the iron is hot. So when you are inspired to create something, do it if you're able. If you are, maybe you're at home and you're like, I think like maybe you had planned out some time to go on a walk or something, but you're really inspired to write a song. Go sit down and write that song. This also means interrupting one project to work on another. A lot of times I am intentionally working on finishing a song and am in such a good like creative headspace that I'm inspired to go write another one. For me, it's never really been damaging to take a break and go and write the song that I'm inspired to write and just really follow that creative flow and creative pattern that usually helps me come up with my best work. Okay, let me know in the comments if this video was helpful for you at all, and if you have any questions or just want to chat, make sure to let me know. I've either just posted or am about to post a video about trying to avoid burnout as a creative person, so make sure you check that video out if you haven't already. I'd also love to know what projects you guys are working on, and if you have a social media page, make sure to link it in the comments below so I can check it out and we can chat about it. Bye!